Somewhere between a $600 fast food habit and a fake fall in a parking lot, Maja Radanovic quickly became known as one of the most manipulative patients Dr. Now has ever treated. But the moment that really put her episode on the map was when things boiled over between her and her boyfriend Christian right in Dr. Now's office.
Mom, Christian everything up in the doctor's office. Mom!
Ah, yes, the call to mom heard round the world. Christian had been by her side through everything until now, but there's only so much one person can take. So what's been going on with Maja since then? Did she ever get her surgery? Is she still the same manipulative person who walked into Dr. Now's office 7 years ago? Or has she grown up a bit? Before we get into any of that, let's rewind to exactly how she earned her reputation to begin with. Maja was 33 years old, living in Oregon, and well over 600 pounds. Christian had basically become her full-time caretaker, on top of everything else in his life. He obviously knew Maja struggled with food addiction. What he didn't know was the extent of it.
I'll go to 2, 3, 4 places, but the first meal is always the most important one because I always get what I'm craving first.
Can I get 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage muffin with egg?
There's no words for that feeling when you taste something you love.
Sometimes spending more than $200 in one day, all without him knowing a thing. And that barely scratched the surface. Their trip to see Dr. Now in Houston made things worse. Walking through the airport wore her out completely. And when she couldn't find a chair big enough to sit in, she blamed the airport staff, saying they lied to her about how much walking she'd have to do. Then came the rental car mix-up. They didn't have the SUV she booked, so they gave her a mid-sized sedan instead. Somehow she ended up stuck under the door, screaming that she couldn't move, with Christian standing right next to her. Then in the middle of all this, she fell.
Oh, they got stuck. How am I gonna get up?
Use the car.
Christian,
Yeah, what do you need?
please. Yes.
Except when she finally did stand up, she did it pretty easily with barely any help at all. It was a clear example of her manipulative side coming through so she could get her way. But the icing on the cake came months later. Maja eventually qualified for surgery, but the move to Houston had resulted in ongoing relationship conflicts between her and Christian. So by the next appointment with Dr. Now, when it was revealed that she had gained weight, Dr. Now had no choice but to cancel her surgery. But instead of taking responsibility herself, Maja turned on Christian, blaming him directly for her lack of progress.
This is your fault.
Oh, you haven't lost that much. Yeah.
Because of the stress of you treating me like this. I hate you for doing this to me, Christian. You're costing me my weight loss surgery and you're ruining everything.
No.
Damn it, Christian, stop.
Not long after, Christian ended things with Maja via text message and left her alone in Houston. So with Christian gone and her support system gone with him, the question became simple. Could Maja actually turn things around on her own? Another simple question. Do you love my channel and 600-pound life content? Then this is your official reminder to take a quick moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that hype button. Thanks, appreciate you. Back to Maja now. Alone in Houston now, the next few months were telling. Dr. Now had given her one more chance. She had to lose 50 pounds in 2 months or she would be removed from the weight loss program. And by her next appointment, she'd lost 30 pounds.
The good news is, so far you lost 130 pounds, so even though you didn't make the progress you should have, you're going in the right direction. So we're going to go ahead and approve you for weight loss surgery, okay?
Thank you.
It wasn't the goal Dr. Now had originally set for her, but it was enough to prove she was still trying, and he approved her for surgery. And this time, Maja's aunt moved in to help her through the procedure and the recovery that followed.
My surgery went very well. We were able to fix her hernia and do a staphyectomy, and we're gonna get her to recovery now and see if we can get her walking and have some liquid in 4 hours.
After weight loss surgery, patients are put on a restrictive diet, starting on liquids for a month, then slowly moving to solid food. During this stage, most patients barely have any appetite at all. They can get full just from a few bites, which is exactly why the weight tends to come off fast. But Maja's progress told a different story when she arrived at Dr. Now's for her post-op appointment.
It has been about 2 months since my surgery, and today I'm back to see Dr. Now. because he wants me to come in for a checkup and see how I'm doing. Last time I saw him for my 1-month post-op visit, I was down to 524. And Dr. Now is kind of disappointed in the physical number since my first month out of surgery. I should have lost 30 plus pounds, not 20 pounds. And then he just told me to try harder and lose at least 15 pounds a month. And so if I did that, I'd be down to at least 509 pounds today.
Maja had only lost 11 pounds. Dr. Now delivered some harsh words. Tough love, we call it. But instead of recommitting to her diet and getting back on track, Maja decided to do things her own way and move back home to Portland. That was the last time Maja ever saw Dr. Now. And if you want to know what happened with all the other patients who quit mid-filming, I'll drop the link to that video in the description below. Less than a year later, Maja was back in the headlines, this time for a very different reason. In 2020, Maja became one of the 10 patients who sued Megalomedia, the production company behind My 600-Pound Life. The former patients accused Megalomedia of negligence, withholding financial coverage for their medical bills, and little to no support once filming wrapped. But Maja's lawsuit stood out for one specific reason. According to her claims, she alleged that producers would deliberately push patients to the edge of an emotional cliff to manufacture dramatic and over-the-top scenes. Sound familiar?
You're gonna be okay.
I am sad because she's going. It's your fault. You've done this, Christian. Nobody else.
This is everything I feared. If I can't get up, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It did raise the question. Were those Maja's true colors, or had she just succumbed to the reality TV machine, delivering exactly what the producers tried to manufacture all along? I am torn. What do you think? If you want the full story behind the lawsuit, the 9 other patients who filed claims and why, and how it all went down in the end, I've got a whole video breaking it down. It's a must-see. Since then, Maja has occasionally posted on Facebook and Instagram, and she looks better than ever. I know social media doesn't always reflect reality, but Maja in 2026 appears in stark contrast to the person Dr. Now had ultimately turned away. She never revealed an exact weight loss number, but she appears to have lost a few hundred pounds. In April 2022, she posted a full body picture that made her transformation impossible to miss. And somewhere along the way, she found a new creative outlet in nail art. Maja also appears to be in a new relationship. In late 2024, Maja posted a video with a man she seemed genuinely close with, captioning, "Never stop living, find your person and be happy." Since then, the two have been inseparable. They celebrated her birthday in May 2025 and even Christmas and New Year's together. I have to say, she really looks like she's happy, healthy, and living her best life. I'm not sure I'd trust her, but I'm rooting for her. How about you? Maja's story is a reminder that change is truly possible. She wasn't exactly a sympathetic character, and certainly gave Dr. Now a run for his money. But somewhere along the way, it seems, she grew up, and still has the capacity to inspire fans of My 600-Pound Life, as we can see from the comments on her posts. If you're curious about what happened to other stars from My 600-Pound Life, there's a playlist for that. Plus, we've covered almost everyone in our Where Are They Now marathon series. You'll definitely want to binge on those next.